Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are viewing this and where you are. Hope you're well. I am well. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Okay, here we are, Saturday. We are halfway through November, which means in the United States anyway, in a couple of weeks, there's going to be the food day to end all food days, followed closely by another essentially 6 weeks of eating. Although we don't have to do that. We don't have to do what we've done before. While on a perspective for an investment instrument, you might read that past performance is the best indicator of future performance. It doesn't have to be that way for humans. Okay, just because that's the way we were before doesn't mean that's the way we need to be going forward. So if someone can let me know that you can see and hear me, I'd appreciate it. Oh, here we go. A couple of people. Terry Hubbard wishing all a beautiful fall day. Hernan Durango, good morning, babe. That is not a stranger being flirtatious. That is my lovely mate reaching out from our little casita on our finquita outside of Apia in Colombia. So he's at the little farmhouse, the little house. He's not in the farmhouse. There are two structures on the property, one of which, actually there's more than two. One is the farmhouse for the farm family, and one is our little house. Okay, so anyway, I assume you can see and hear me, so that's good. Today's topic is about what we face it every day anyway. Oh, and there's Jack in the background, if you can see him. Here you go, buddy. I'm giving him a cookie. He's kind of bored with the cookies, though, I have to tell you. So he just drops it on the floor like, what? I don't want this. Anyway, we are faced with temptation as humans most days. We just are. From the time we're children, the temptation to, I don't know, whatever kids are tempted by. Stay up late playing a game rather than going to bed when they're supposed to. And then as we get older, we're tempted by much more important things. And food is a big temptation for many of us. And let's face it, starting with Halloween, it's all temptation till the end of the year. So what are we going to do about it? I think too many of us just kind of throw up our hands. We let ourselves off the hook a lot. Jennifer Costa, my sweet friend who writes, well, good morning, sweetheart. Jen, say hey to Hernan. Hernan, say hey to Jen. Hashtag my friend Jen. We do things, we say things like, well, I had a craving. The cravings were really strong, and so I caved. Or, how am I supposed to deal with when everything around me is tempting me to eat whatever it might be? You could have a sweet tooth. You could have a salt tooth. You could have an everything tooth. You could just like to eat because, and we say, well, I'm tempted because it smells like the house smelled when I was growing up during this time of year. Or I associate great memories with whatever the food is. All of these things are temptations. Okay, let's just accept that fact that we're going to be tempted. But just because we can recognize and acknowledge a temptation does not mean we have to indulge it. We don't have to give in to it. It takes being prepared a little bit. If you know that the house is going to smell the way it smelled when you were enjoying happy memories from holidays past. And also, let's just go ahead and face the fact that we might sanitize some of our memories from the past. Most of us did not have Norman Rockwell holidays growing up. Even in good families and happy families, there's just, not everything's perfect. Anywho, so if we know there's going to be a temptation, put on your armor, your emotional armor. Put on your big person pants. Put on your grown-up britches. And recognize that Hernan writes, "Hi, Jen. They're friends. I'm not jealous." So, I always like to draw, an analogy. Thank you for the heart floaties. So we tell ourselves, well, everything is so tempting. I can't possibly resist. Or I had a craving. I couldn't possibly resist. Let's plug in other words, other circumstance that are not food. And someone who is, or maybe has not behaved in a way that is for their own good. They're not doing that right. Not food wise, could be anything wise. It could be socially wise. It could be alcohol wise. It could be interpersonal relationship wise. It could be something dramatic. It could be something small. But if someone says, well, I was really tempted, everything was tempting, what am I to do? Well, you say, well, what you do is you resist it. Acknowledge the temptation. You can thank the temptation for stopping by. Hello, temptation. Thank you for stopping by. You may leave now. We need to prepare ourselves. Every day, we sometimes have to resist temptation. Sometimes the temptation is to be a lazy bones. I'm tempted by that every day. Almost every day, I feel bad about it. Some days I'm better at resisting it than others. So what are we going to do? Okay, the food is going to be there. The smells are going to be there. It might taste great, wonderful. But, unless you're willing to take the consequences again of finding yourself in early January again, where you were, had the best intentions and then everything fell apart because it smelled so good and it tastes so good and it reminds you of your childhood. Those are good things if your childhood was happy. How about this? Imagining your dotage. Try to imagine a happy elderhood where you're not on medications and physically sore and infirm. And you have, you're seeing a battery, is that the word? Battalion of doctors on a regular basis. And you're taking, your day is measured in those plastic medication containers. How about we imagine something better going forward, which is just as valuable as embracing the memories from something past? Our futures are important. Our past is back there. What's the saying? The past is finished. The past is history. The future's a mystery. All we have is right now. I heard that. That's a good one, though. Past is history. The future's a mystery. All we have right now is the decisions we can make right now to the best of our ability. We can acknowledge a temptation without indulging it. I imagine there are people who are in committed relationships and they might be tempted by outside forces. Okay, but you don't have to indulge it. And don't do that, by the way. Don't step out. It's just, don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to turn my attention to comments. And I do want to say you do not have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at the ketogenic protocol at all. There's not a food product, a supplement, a pill, or anything that will help you become, turning to burning fat for fuel. The way this works is you lower your carbohydrate intake sufficiently to the point where your body stops pumping out glucose from your liver for fuel and turns to burning fat for fuel. That's what it is. Body's happy doing it. I've been in ketosis for 11 and a half years. Oh, more than. You just lay off the carbs. That's what it is. There's nothing to eat. There's nothing that you put in your mouth that will make you become a fat burner. It's what you don't put in your mouth, carbs. But I will sell you, like a hoodie. Go Keto Casey. Or I forgot the green book. Or my green journal. You can go to my blog, link below, and click on it. It's a 12-month journal. Or, mugs and teddy bears and aprons and things like that. Magnets, stickers. A sticker that says, if hunger's not the problem, food is not the solution. Or a mug that says food is not the boss of me, which is particularly good to remember this time of year. And of course, I have my private support group on Patreon, link below, where patrons for $5 a month get every weekday morning video snippets from me, the topics usually suggested by patrons. I do it every day. I don't think I've missed a day. I think I just published snippet number 2059 on Friday. Anyway, and and you can do a free trial there, 7 days. If you like it, you stay. If you don't, you won't. And if none of that appeals to you, then if you could just subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification icon. It's all good. I appreciate you. Now, let's see what y'all have to say. Well, we've already covered that my husband is here and Jen is here. So Jen, which coast are you on right now? My hashtag my friend Jen has the coolest job ever. She styles Barbie and other toys, styles them like the hair. She has little tiny hair, not like toy things. Like she has, she styles the hair. Works, with Mattel. It's really cool. So I hope she is safe. Jennifer Costa. It's like I'm right there. Yay. And how's the new house? It's very interesting and fun. Jen is one of the few people, maybe the only actual friend I have, other than my lovely mate, who I've met and become friends with after I lost the weight. Everyone else that I knew knew me quite large. I was large. You can see photos of me at my heavier self, not my heaviest self, at my blog. And, it's interesting. I can't relate to being as large as I was anymore. I had made a video years ago where I found an outfit. It was a very nice black dress with a matching jacket. I'm sure I bought it for a funeral or something like that. It was nice. But it had been tucked away in the back of a random closet in our house. I'd gotten rid of all the other larger clothes from my heavier days. I'd lost the weight. So I said, oh my gosh. So I held it up and it was, oh my gosh. I think it was a 22 or a 24W outfit. And I'm sure when I bought it, I took up every inch of it. So I put it on. And it, it was large on me. It was very large. It swallowed me up. And I made a video about it. And I shared that when I was large, and I haven't been large all my life, I was cute at one point. It's tiny and cute and, excuse me, let me rephrase that. My size had nothing to do with my cuteness. I just happened to have been cute and small. You can be cute and large. So no body shaming. But I was not happy when I was larger. I'd grown to be quite heavy, morbidly obese, and I was that way for 30 years. And after a while, I could no longer imagine being smaller. I couldn't imagine what it was like when I was smaller before I'd gotten large. Now I find this dress and I put it on and the jacket, and I realize I at that point couldn't imagine being that size. I couldn't imagine being large. Now, when I say large, I'm 5'1", so I'm not tall, but you know what I'm saying. I was round. I couldn't imagine it. So if you're someone, maybe what you're having trouble imagining is making it through a holiday without eating pecan pie and a second helping of it and stuffing and Ferrero Rocher chocolates. Maybe you can't imagine getting through a holiday season, sticking to keeping your carbs 20 grams or fewer, total, not net. Not eating if you're not hungry. This is a challenge. Temptation is coming your way. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you've had enough. Nobody gets a vote on what we eat. Aunt Ida, who made the sweet potato casserole with marshmallow topping, bless her. She'll be okay. She's not going to collapse if we don't eat it. But I made it just for you. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Here, have some smelling salts before you pass out, but I'm not going to eat the pie or the cake or the whatever. If you can't imagine that, just know that when you get to January 6th or 5th or whatever your date is that you come out of the food coma and you say, oh, wow, I did it. I can't believe I did that. I remember the first holiday season that I made it through. It was the holiday season of 2014. I had started this on January 8th, 2014. And I made it and I was happy. And I felt empowered. I used to feel like I was a victim of food. Of course, that's ridiculous. Food is an inanimate thing. I was victimizing myself. It's not cool. So if you can't imagine it, that's okay. Just take it one decision at a time, one mouthful at a time, one moment at a time, one thank you, no thank you at a time. It'll be okay. It will still be the holiday. It's the people that should be important, not the vittles. Karen from Utah. Oh, Jen, every Barbie I ever bought my daughter, she cut the hair off within days. Oh, your daughter. Rebel. Ruth Henny writes, good morning. And Steph, I'm 5'1" and wear size 20. Crying face. That's okay. Listen, I was thrilled when I got down to a size 20. I started out at 24W. I was thrilled at 20. Keep doing this, Steph. You can do it. You know, there's not that many advantages of being short, but one might be that it takes less weight loss to be a parent on a short stature. You know, if you're 5'10", you might lose 30 pounds and nobody notices because you're 5'10". Lose 30 pounds when you're 5'1", it's noticeable. Karen writes, we are going to my family for Thanksgiving that just moved to Utah. I know what the kind of cook she is, and food is a very big deal to her. Hope I don't offend her. I'm sure you won't, Karen. You're pretty cool. Karen is a very strong person. And I'm sure that you know how to navigate that situation with class and strength. And good luck to you. Okay. This is another thing. Some of us feel like we are people pleasers. That's a good thing to be. But we're people too. We deserve to please ourselves in this regard. How is us eating food that does not serve us well? Why should that please anyone? To guard their feelings or their ego? Or some people want us to eat the food which does not serve us well because they feel like when we pass on the potatoes or the bread or the chocolate ice cream or the cake or the pretzels or that it somehow, and if they're eating that stuff, it puts a spotlight on what they are eating. That's just their own self-centeredness coming through if that's the case. I don't care what anybody else eats. Right? It's none of my business. Our third child is a full-on vegan. He's done keto. He is a full-on vegan now. Fine with me. He came here to visit a couple of weeks ago, and he got delivery of I didn't even know the place existed here in our city. It's a vegan grill, and he got what he got actually Nanchi. It's called a Colombiana burger. Why? I don't know. I guess it was made with lentils or beans or something like that, maybe rice. But anyway, it was a vegetarian burger on bread with sweet potato tots on the side. Fine by me. Would it help him? Would that be right for me to say, you're really hurting my feelings? Here I am, I'm Go Keto with Casey, man. What are you doing being a vegan? Well, I wouldn't say that for one thing. I don't feel that way. And what kind of twisted logic would that be? So let's impose that on Aunt Ida. Maybe her whole identity is tied up with baking. That's fine for Aunt Ida. We can't be held responsible for Aunt Ida's feelings about passing on a piece of cake. It's that simple. It's illogical to eat food that doesn't serve you well so that you can make somebody else feel better. It's good for us to feel worse so somebody else can feel better? No, we should all feel better. Linda Bridges, yep, Thanksgiving is coming. Always a challenge, But I promise you, it feels so good to make it through and look back. I had a great holiday that year. A great one. I enjoyed it. A good time was had by all. And my good time would not have been enhanced if I had eaten stuffing or crescent rolls or pecan pie. My enjoyment would not have been enhanced. And let's face it, if we have a problematic relationship with food, our enjoyment of food lasts for about 8 seconds. As long as it takes to get down our gullet, then almost immediately the regret steps in. Oh, why did I eat that? I was talking about this on the snippet thing with my patrons on the Patreon thing. Someone had shared that they had a dream that they were eating a bunch of carby foods that they don't eat anymore, and asked if I'd ever had that kind of dream. And I have. And I was almost every time in the dream, it's like I'm halfway through eating whatever the thing is. For a while, it was the soft pretzels that you get from the street vendors. I was halfway through a pretzel. And then for another long time, it was peanut butter on white bread. And I'm halfway through a sandwich. What? How did that happen? I'm eating it without even realizing it. Oh, no. Yeah, regret. Excuse me. Karen in Utah writes, yes, I'm going to enjoy the people and the niece I haven't seen in 20 years. That's what I must concentrate on. Some of us will be passing holidays, first holidays, without a loved one who has passed. Some of us will be navigating holidays having to work the whole time, or some of us will be navigating the holidays being out of work and maybe not being able to do things the way we used to. Just because it's the holidays doesn't mean everybody's happy every minute. It can be tough. And sometimes holidays are difficult for people. Like I said, not every childhood memory is a good one. But that's okay. We can work on making our own memories and our own decisions. Let me see. Today, Thanksgiving is a week from Thursday, right? Is that correct? I think so. Tell me, is that right? I think that's right. It's 2 Thursdays. It's the last Thursday of the month, I think. Whatever it is, we need to be prepared. Like I said, temptation's going to be there. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving or any of the religious or secular holidays, there's still temptation. I mean, dadgummit. There's a commercial that goes in. We don't have cable or anything, but on the streaming services, there's still commercials, which is irritating because we pay for streaming. But anyway, they now have these cartoons between some on some commercials that it's replicating what used to be in movie houses before the show started. The movie, it would, let's go out to the lobby. Let's go out to the lobby, and it would be images of popcorn and sodas dancing. Let's go out to the lobby and get ourselves a snack. Now it's same thing, except it's Reese's products and Doritos, and they're dancing and they're saying, let's go into the pantry. Let's go into the pantry. Let's go into the pantry and get ourselves a snack. So temptation is everywhere if you're tempted by things like Doritos and Reese's peanut butter cups. So we have to arm ourselves emotionally and mentally. We're stronger than a cookie. Food is not the boss of us. No one gets a vote on what we eat. And seeing in the new year, having gotten through the holidays, perhaps for the first time, eating delicious, nutritious, sometimes decadent food, a nice juicy piece of ribeye, dip the end of it in ranch dressing. Okay, that's not a sacrifice in my book, Your Honor. In my opinion, Your Honor. But anyway, enjoying delicious food, just laying off the carbs. Oh, you'll appreciate it so much. I promise you. And if I can do this, you can do this. I promise. I'm the opposite of a disciplined, strong person. I might be strong. I might have strengths, but I'm not disciplined. I'm a brat, and I'm spoiled, and I'm indulged. But I don't indulge those temptations about food. That I don't do anymore. Friends, Lala's here. Lala 903, I've dreamt that too. When I quit smoking years ago, I'd wake up feeling so bad about myself before realizing I had only had a bad dream. Referencing the smoking. Smoking is the one bad habit I never started. I could have. Everyone in my very large family smoked. No one would have said boo to me. I just didn't. I had chronic bronchitis as a kid, and I don't know, it just never appealed to me. And I'm really glad, because I think it would have been very difficult for me to stop. Oof. Laying off the tortilla chips. I didn't do keto for it wasn't called keto. I didn't do low carb for the longest time because they said, there's no way I can go the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips. And I couldn't until I did. And now they're a thing of the past. I do have to, I will, when I go back to Colombia again, I'm not going this trip, but when I go back, I'm going to have to prepare myself that I cannot eat an entire platter full of patacones, which is hard because we grow plantains and coffee and limes and oranges and guava and mangoes on our little farm. Friends, I'm going to sign off. I really appreciate you allowing me to be part of your Saturday. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer, total, not net. Net carbs is just more carbs. Don't eat if you're not hungry, no matter what Aunt Ida says. Stop eating when you've had enough, no matter what Aunt Ida says. Be patient and persevere. Be kind to yourself. Be firm with yourself. And the hardest part, be honest with yourself. Oof, that's a toughie with Jack Duffy, if ever. Okay, thank you. Bye, honey. Be careful. Be careful on the road to Viterbo. Be safe, please, and share your ETA with me. Bye, honey. Love you. Bye.